Really want to do some rosy pinky tones today.
So let's hop right in. First, I'm going to start with a little bit of priming. This is the NYX face glue. And I really like this primer. It's super, super tacky, but it almost has like a lotion consistency to it. So going into these drier, colder months, this is super, super nice on the skin. I'm really just doing my standard skin prep here, the primer, the setting spray. I'm doing some lip oil, and I'm also going to run some clear brow gel through the brows to get them tamed and also get them nice and tacky so that later on when I go with a fiber brow gel, they are already sticky and the fibers have something to stick to. I feel like if you already have thick brows, you don't really need to worry about that, but I have very thin, sparse brows with very fine hair. So I need to give them all the help they can get because I kind of like that bushier look. Then I am going to go in with the e.l.f. Halo Glow and the IT Cosmetics Nude Glow CC cream. This is a perfect glowy skin combination, especially like I said earlier, going into winter. I have really dry skin, so I kind of need all the help that I can get in the hydration department, especially when I'm wearing makeup, because if your skin is dry, there's just no way that your makeup is going to sit on top of it very nicely. So this is a really nice glowy base, medium coverage with a lot of moisture. And of course, because I'm a dry skin girl, I do love a beauty blender. I also sprayed this with a little bit of setting spray as well to just enhance the long lasting nature of this base, up the hydration and everything. Now, my Pale Girl Bronzer secret is out. I use blush all the time. I've done this for so long. I can get away with actual bronzers in the summer, but going into the winter, I am super, super pale, and I am actually using the Morphe Cheek Thrills in this gorgeous toasty brown blush shade. I'm using the creams as a cream bronzer, and later we'll go in with the powder on top of this. Now, this one specifically, the Cheek Thrills from Morphe, will give you a glowy bronzer, which I really like. If you don't like that, you can look at other formulas that are more of a skin-like finish or a matte finish even. There's so many blushes out there, and almost every single line has this like toasty brown color. I'm using a different Cheek Thrills shade. I think this is the shade Blind Date as my blush. This is like one of the most neutral colors that they have. It's like a perfect neutral pink. These are just really, really gorgeous. They were given a lot of hype when they first came out, and now I feel like nobody talks about them anymore, but they are actually really good. I still use mine all the time. So I'm gonna put that blush all over. I put it everywhere. I am a blush lover after all. So I put it all over the cheeks. I even color correct under the eyes and put it across the bridge of the nose. I just love that. Another Pale Girl secret here is the NYX Pro Fix Stick in the shade Pink. This is actually the color corrector of the line, but it has just as much high impact coverage as the concealers. So many pale girls that follow me comment asking me what concealer I am using, and it is always this when they are asking, when I'm getting comments about it. It is just this perfect, super light pink. And that's why it stands out. The pale girls like me, we need something that is just pretty pale, but also that runs a little bit pink. Even the foundations that I have that are technically fair and the ones that are even neutral, I will get comments about how yellow I look. And I really feel like it's just because I am so pale that it just turns everything too warm. Like, unless something is strictly, strictly pink, it will automatically look too yellow, even though all my foundations are supposed to be pink and fair. I don't know what the science is behind that, but I just go for the pink option whenever I can when I'm super fair, and I it always just works out for me. After I get the concealer and everything blended into that blush and the under eye and the sides of the nose and get it looking how I want it, I'm going to go in with the About Face loose powder. This is also a slightly newer release, and it is the only loose powder that I have been using since I got it. I have mine in the lightest shade. It's called Bone, and this is really good. It's not pink, it's not white, it's like perfectly neutral. So if you are super pale and you don't want that really bright under eye, I feel like this is a really good shade. At least it is for me. So I really love it. And plus, it lasts so long. It is so finely milled. It is really, really good. Like I said, I have not reached for any other loose powders since I've gotten this. So I just set under the eyes and then I let the rest of my face have some time to air dry while I work on my eyeshadow. First, I'm going in with this ColourPop eyeshadow stick. I just love this as a base. It's so easy to blend. And once it dries down, it does last really well. So you could stop here, but I'm going to go on top with some eyeshadow. I love to layer my creams and shadows because it just makes everything seamless. It makes it last so much longer. And I love to just set my makeup and forget it. And I don't have to touch up throughout the day at all. I'm using the Natasha Denona Mini Biba eyeshadow palette along with this eyeshadow stick, and I love the Mini Biba if you are super pale but you still want a pink rosy toned eyeshadow palette. It's only 5 eyeshadows, and the Natasha Denona formula just never disappoints. It's so good, and I feel like it's one of the most pale eyeshadows that she has come out with, at least that I can think of right now. So it's perfect for the pale girls. I know a lot of the more high-end eyeshadows tend to have vibrant colors and dark pigments, and the quality is there to show that. So it shows up very, very stark on our pale skin tone. But like I said, this is really, really light shadows. They're still great quality, pigmented for what they are, but they are just generally on the lighter end of the spectrum of shades. So you cannot really go overboard with this eyeshadow palette at all. And the mattes are just gorgeous. They last forever. The shimmers are impactful. They don't have fallout. I just love them. I mean, Natasha Denona, I have mentioned before, it's like one of the rare high-end companies and products that I've just never really been disappointed, and I always feel like it's worth the money. I haven't been using too many shimmers on my eyes at all lately. Just been sticking with more of a matte smoky look, and I'm just using the darkest eyeshadow in this palette as a smoky brown liner, and I was good to go. But add the shimmers if you want. That's just something I change up day to day, and I do what I'm feeling. But I always smoke out the upper lash line and the upper waterline. And then I'm also going to put a touch of this on the outer corner of my lower lash line as well, just to round everything out and smoke out the bottom lash line as well. And then we're going to move back to the face to set everything with powders. And like I said, I'm going to use the powder section of this trio from Morphe to set my bronzer. And like I said earlier as well, it's really, really glowy. That was kind of the point of these cheek thrills, is that they're very, very impactful with the not only the pigment but the glow. So just go light-handed if you don't want to go too crazy. But I tend to go crazy a little bit. It's okay. I can fully admit that sometimes my bronzer is a little bit overkill. I mean, even here, I don't think that it is, but people have their own opinions. But yeah, I'm just going in with this powder. Like I said, it just sets the longevity. I can set it and forget it, not have to worry. This is a gorgeous glowy bronzer that I just love. And just for my own personal face shape, I always connect the eyeshadow to the bronzer in the temple. Just snatches everything up, and I feel like it matches my face shape really well and just is really flattering. And I'm doing the same thing with the blush. And I also like to dust off my bake on my under eye with my blush brush once most of the pigment has gotten off. I just feel like it makes the most seamless blend under the eye. And then pulling out this random palette. I know this is so random, but this is my favorite pale girl highlight, and that's what this video is about. This is an Ulta Baked Trio, and it has a bronzer, blush, and highlight, and it is absolutely stunning. Every single product in this palette is stunning. Great. The lightest shade of this trio is really great for pale skin in general. Just wanted to shout out some other products in here. And like I'm kind of saying here, this is a super pigmented palette. So barely tap your brush in any of the products and you will see that impact. And this is just a great white frosty highlight. So then I am going to powder just kind of around my mouth. That's really the only place that I don't like to be shiny. And I am using the Essence 16-Hour Powder Foundation here. I feel like they have an okay shade range for the pale girls. They don't have the best shade range on the planet, but it'll be okay. Now, the one thing where I really struggle is the lips. I'm kind of switching around between some different lip liners here because as soon as I start to get to my palest, this is supposed to be like a nudish pink, and I feel like it literally looks orange on my mouth. Like I said, I don't know why that happens, but here we are. So I'm just kind of messing around with some of my lip liners, trying to get a nice, just neutral pink outline here. And then I do love the Sigma lip oil that I have in the shade pink. It is totally pale girl friendly. It's so gorgeous. It feels incredible on the lips, and it is just something I'm always able to just throw on and it looks good no matter what, which sometimes can be hard to do for the pale girls. Like you throw something on and then all of a sudden you look sickly. So that's not a fun look, okay? Well, unless you're going for that look, but if you're going for like a normal rosy pinky look, that's not what you want. So I really like that lip oil. Then I just finish off the brows and mascara like usual, and that's the final look. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video very soon. Bye.